Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gritty Hour. You know, people often ask me what podcasts I listen to, and basically, I there's only a couple that I listen to. It's usually when I'm driving my car. One of them is Joe Rogan. One of them is Karmic Mirror. There's a friend of mine that has that podcast. One of them is what's his name, Carlson. And I have a brand new favorite one called Be Raw Podcast that I listen to on Spotify. And I like it so much, I had the host of the show come on the show today. So his name is Walt Blau, and here he is. Welcome to the Gritty Hour, Walt.
Thanks for having me, buddy. And,
Yeah.
you talk about podcasts and what you listen to. Rogan and this podcast called, no, I forgot, The Moth. You ever hear that?
No.
So, excuse me. The Moth it still is. That was our go-to. My wife and I, we love traveling, did a lot of driving.
Mm-hmm.
And The Moth is about an hour long. And the people get up and they got 5 minutes to tell an unedited story. So it's got to be real, no notes. You get up there in front of a crowd and you tell a story. And I really like that format because people were telling real stories, and sometimes they're pretty heavy, sometimes they're really fun. Like this one guy paddled a bathtub across the English Strait, between France and England or whatever, France and England.
Yeah.
He put a fucking bathtub in the water and jumped in it and paddled it across.
Wow.
So his story was pretty fun. That you get that. And then of course you got life in general is full of tragedy, right? Everybody's got their own stories. Nobody's unique with that. But to hear somebody go through something, come out the other end, you like their story, right? Because you're like, oh, that dude or that woman could do it. That means I can do it.
Right.
So between that and Rogan, I like because it's just freestyle, and I have a bottomless pit of curiosity. I just want to know, dude, if the little garden gnome that you have as decoration in the front yard and you worship that thing and that thing brings you joy, do I think you're crazy? You're damn right I do. But I want to know how you got to that point. Right? So, and it was a mix between the two. And it started off as Walt's kitchen table, because when I grew up, like if I came over to your house, especially you being in New York and all, where are we going to hang out? We're going to hang out at the kitchen table, right? That's where everybody congregates. But the show, it was difficult to promote and to get guests on. Not guests in general, but the type of guests that I want to have on.
Right.
Because people are like, oh, it's about food. And then like when we get done talking here, we'll record and we'll probably talk for a few minutes after, right? Mm-hmm. That's just the way podcasting goes, which I love it.
Right.
But in the conversation after, people were like, hey, man, and they tell me this crazy story. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you bring that up in what we were talking? They're like, well, I didn't think it fit your format. So I was like, all right, I gotta reformat this thing.
Wow.
And then B-Raw was born, to where raw, that my punchline is the actual definition of raw: powerful, simple, and real. And B is an adjective. So just be real.
Right.
Right? Just, who cares, dude? The world doesn't fucking care about you. I don't care how big your ego is. The world doesn't care about you.
Well, Walt, that was going to be my first question to you, was what made you start a podcast? So you answered it already.
Yeah. Well, the big one was, so I had a business. I worked in corporate America. Then I had a private business. Me and this lady, we started and did very well at. Well, I started getting invited to do public speaking about the business, because we were doing so well. People are like, oh man, share your secret. And by the way, the secret is fucking hard work. There's no secret. Everybody, I mean,
always is.
Just work hard.
Yeah.
And I would go to these public speaking things, and there'd be big ones and little ones, from 5 people to 400 people, just all different sizes. I do not have a problem being in front of a crowd. Like, you could zap me from here right now, teleport me to in front of 400 people, and I would not, I'd be like, okay, this is what we're talking about, And I had an infatuation, I guess, even back in like high school. I wanted to be like an overnight radio DJ. You know, this kind of setup always fascinated me, that I could talk and send my words and thoughts out into the universe and somebody hears it. You know, it's like, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so one night, my wife takes me on a date. Going back to the Moth, she takes me on a date, and we go to a storytelling event. Not the Moth, but they call it what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it now. Story Slam.
Okay.
If you ever see one of those, check them out, dude. They're great. And the same format. You put your name on a list, you get up there and you tell a story. And I got up there, we got there, and they called my wife's name. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling a story? She's like, no, that's your surprise. You go tell a story. I'm like, oh, shit, all right. So I get up there, and the lady's like, you're going to tell a story? I was like, yeah, I could tell a story. And she's like, do you have a story? I'm like, lady, do I have stories? And she's like, you didn't practice them. I lived them. She's like, all right, podium's all yours, Had a great time, dude. It was, I was over the moon by the time my 5 minutes were done.
Is it like a bar setting?
Well, this was in a theater because where
Okay.
we lived at the time, they call it the Montclair Film Festival. It's actually a theater setting and all that. But most of the time, it's in a bar.
Right.
Been to a bunch of them after. High majority of in a bar setting, open mic. So if they got a little stage or something, right? And I realized when I was doing public speaking for business, I was in a box. It was, you got to talk about business. You got to talk about this. You can't talk about this. You stay within this spot. Don't go past this spot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dude, when I did that storytelling, there was no box. That thing shattered. And I was like, that's it. Oh my God, that's what, holy shit. And then everything just started flooding. And then that's when the Walt's Kitchen Table was born. And all I did, I had already had a Mac computer. I got this little cheap mic off Amazon. Got a little mixer that I still use. Of course, I mean, I've upgraded all my other stuff, and started inviting friends over. And I said, I'm not going to publish anything for 25 episodes because I'm a serial listener. If I get your podcast, I'll listen to every fucking episode you have until I hear them all.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want somebody to come on and see one and then disappears and they don't come back. Right. But me being a business guy and numbers and just having that mindset, while I recorded 25 episodes, I did all my back work. I set up the website. I did my YouTube channel. I use Libsyn for my hosting. So I set all that up. So that way, when I posted everything, boom, there's some girth behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been going ever since. I'm going on 200 episodes.
Oh, good for you.
Thanks, bud.
How much editing, if any, do you do?
Very little.
Mm-hmm.
And I set it up that way. So you come on my show, and you can't see my other screens, but I'm editing one I did last week. Not editing, I'm listening to it while I take notes, because then you did like your little intro.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I do a separate intro. I put in some music and some stuff like that, and then I drop that in front of it, do a little exit. Boom, that's it, the whole episode.
Yeah, I've seen
the episode itself,
yeah,
like what we're into right now, zero editing.
Right.
You're coughing, you walk away for 2 minutes, there's fucking dead air for 2 minutes. It don't matter, dude.
Yeah.
Because
no, that's a better way to do it. Yeah.
yeah, it's life, dude.
Yeah.
It's life, man.
But you
That's
you just described a separate, like, I've seen some podcasts on YouTube where they'll have a guest on and they'll talk for an hour or whatever, but the host would do a separate. He'd film himself doing a separate intro, summarizing the episode, who the guest is, and all that. But I'm a lazy man, Walt. I can't be doing extra.
I don't mind,
That's extra
dude.
work.
Dude, I don't blame you a bit, man, because and then my quote unquote editing has evolved. So as I'm listening to this, I'll take like a 10 or 15-minute clip out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm do my final edit, I put that clip in the middle with some underlaying music. You know, I have certain music that I put under every episode. And then I do a record scratch, goes into my intro, and then the episode itself. And I do this because YouTube, if it has 15 seconds of a video to start with, the algorithm picks it up more.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's 100% the reason I did it. Before, I would just be 10 seconds of music and then a record scratch, and I come on and I do 2 minutes worth of talking, and then it fades into the episode. But
Yeah.
so I do a little bit, and I don't blame you a bit for being lazy on that stuff. When somebody asks me, "Hey, man, I'm going to start a podcast. What do you think?" I go, "Don't."
Mm-hmm. It's laborious. It is.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best part is talking to people, and that's why I started the podcast, and I'm seeing that's why you started, just insatiable curiosity about just about anything.
Oh, I'll talk, dude. I'm wide and deep. You
Yeah.
pick a subject, mood. I can probably go on for a while with you.
Yeah, that's
You know,
my point.
because
Yeah.
years of doing this, and in general, being curious about everything. Right.
Right.
So even I play a lot of cards. So at a poker table, normally you're there for 5, 6, 10 hours. Right. I talk to everybody. Hey, man, where are you from? Hey, what do you like to do? And then it just ends up, and I just think it's amazing what makes people tick. Like, what powers you, dude? Like, what do you get up in the morning, and why do you do what you do? Right? That's
Yeah.
the stuff I want to hear about.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people that start podcasts, I think that's the underlying reason behind it. It's just you want to meet new people and learn new things about subjects you wouldn't even think twice about without talking to that person.
Yeah, no, 100%. We're social beings, dude.
Yeah.
We're not meant to be alone.
Yeah.
It's cool. And the first 30 something episodes when I had my show, it was in person, right? I had a desk and 2 cameras and doing all that shit. And COVID hit, fucked all that up. And then now it's like this, and I don't mind this at all. 1, the ease. 2, you have no idea if I'm wearing pants or not.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, right? So, but then the other thing is I talked to a guy in Vegas the other day, and then I talked to a guy in Canada and British Columbia, and then a guy in Australia, right? So amazing. This is amazing.
Yep.
And then people that are listening to us, they get to hear the same shit that we talk about, and they're like, "Well, that's pretty interesting." And then they come back for more, hopefully. But
Yeah, that's the thing. It can be a catch-22 because you want to learn, like we just said, you and I, a lot about a lot of different things. And I always have in the back of my mind, I wonder if somebody who was interested in the one we did about X would be interested in the one we're going to do about Y. You know what I mean?
Right. Or I like the idea of, I have no idea what this fucking clown is going to talk about this day. So let's tune in and see what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you have the personality for it, so that will keep people coming back.
Yeah. Dude,
But I was going to ask you though, Walt. One of your episodes, because I was listening to a few of them this
I
afternoon.
appreciate that.
Oh, sure. You did about what your thoughts about AI, and I was going to ask you if you use AI at all in the production of your podcast.
The only thing so I guess Opus Clips would be, I assume that's through AI.
I just started that too for the shorts. Yeah.
For the shorts. I use Opus Clips. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's unbelievable, that thing.
Dude, and if do you use it then?
I just started using it. I haven't bought it yet. I was using the free one, so
okay.
I'm going to buy it just to get the Opus Clips name off the shorts.
Oh yeah, it's worth it too, and it opens up some other options for you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What I think is amazing with the AI part of it. Now, AI, do I think fucking eventually robots are going to kill us all? Yes, I do. But until then, you filter. I don't know how much. Again, I don't know how much you used it. So when you go to do your clips, you can filter down categories like speaker, podcast, motivation, sports. Right? You can pick these, and I think speaker is the one. I'm trying to mess with it a little bit to find out for sure. But what I like about the speaker one, a little hint for you, if you're the only one on the clip, right? Because most of the time it stacks it, right? For like
Yes.
Instagram Reels and Shorts. So we won't be in this format, we'll be stacked. But 30% of the clips is just you or just me. Okay. And what I like about, and I think it's the speaker option, is I move around a lot. Well, it follows me through the clip. So if you're in the portrait setting of an Instagram story, it doesn't take you long to get out of the frame if you're moving around, right?
Right.
But I'm going to say that it's AI. The AI follows the motion. Plus, it makes it more interesting because there's motion, just not a talking dome of mine, right? But Opus Clips is amazing. And then the other thing that I do use Chat GPT for my weekly newsletter.
Okay.
Okay, I am not a big writer, but man, dude, Tom, I find it over the years, just writing is it's so therapeutic, right? People tell you that all the time. But I had to touch the stove 1,000 times while it's hot to figure it out, right? Until I started using Chat GPT, I would want to write blogs, and I like to keep them short. I like to make them digestible, a couple hundred words, right? And the way I look at it is, can you read this standing in line at the grocery store while you're waiting for it to be checked out? That's how I look at that, right?
Right.
So what I was doing, I was typing away, and dude, I drag my knuckles, man. I can't spell the word cat. So punctuation is horrible. I am just absolutely horrible with punctuation. But I'm the type of guy that goes all in on my strengths. I could give a shit about my weaknesses. What am I going to do? Spend time away from my strength to get my weakness better? Fuck no, dude. Move on. Right? So I resisted Chat GPT for a little bit. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. Now I have the paid version. And what I do is I have a thought in my head and I know how I want to have it written out. I set it for 200 words. I put my head down and I just start data dumping my thoughts. No punctuation. I give a shit about spelling, all that stuff, right? At 180 words, it dings. I look up, I finish it. And then I say, clean it up. Spells everything right.
But does it change any words?
Yeah, because I'll say, change it up. And this is the fucked up part, man. This is we'll talk about this. I call it the fucked up part, and I think it's cool. I'll say, clean it up. And by now, it asks me questions back. I'll say, clean it up. And it'll say, do you want it more emotional, more sarcastic, or more savage? Because it's learning how I talk, right? And how I communicate. So I'll say, this one I need a little emotional on it. I need some emotion on it. And it'll change the words, but what it's doing is the same exact thing that an editor would do. You don't say it this way, you say it this way. See, it gets the point across, but you don't sound like you're in fucking fourth grade.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love it. It's my words, and then I'm learning from it as well. So I'll read it and go, no shit. So now when I'm typing, I'm learning from what I've read before. So now I'm getting even better. And then the way I articulate words and stuff like that, I'm learning from it. So I had a guest on. He's in IT, and he goes, "Did you name it yet?" And I go, "You go fuck yourself for that." I said, "That's going to be tough for me to name it." Wow, name it? Oh, but
where do you post your newsletter?
On my website.
Oh, okay. I'm going to share that screen in a little bit if you don't mind. Your
Of course,
website.
of
Yeah.
course. I would
Yeah.
love for people to check out the newsletter. Again, it's going to tell you things you don't want to hear probably. And that's the point. I want you to be uncomfortable because nothing happens in a comfort zone. You got it. Years ago, I had a guest on. He left an extremely high paying job to travel Europe in a van to climb ice waterfalls that are frozen in ice.
Wow.
Right. And he calls it chasing the eight. And his claim is 8% of the time, you should be fucking scared for your life. You should be so uncomfortable. You're like, you come out of it and you go, what? Holy man, what just happened? Man, did you feel alive during that time? Amazing. So my thought with the newsletter is you read it and you go, that motherfucker, fuck you, dude. Yes, that's it. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me to go fuck myself. That's amazing, dude, because that means you just felt something and you're alive.
Can people comment on it on your site?
No, they
No.
just, and I posted on YouTube as well in the post in the community. It used to be called community, but I put it post now.
Okay.
So YouTube is a monster, bro. I don't know if you mess around with YouTube much.
Not as often, not as much as I know. I try and get my head around the intricacies of the algorithm, and then they change it. So it's like,
See, that's where I love that you said that. Because you know what my response is to you that? Just fucking post it, dude.
that's basically all I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Just be yourself. The universe will come to you. Post what makes you happy. Because if it makes you happy or it makes you laugh, somebody else's thing is gonna find that shit funny too.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
the
the
way
thing.
I look at it.
Yeah, and I don't worry about monet because people ask me all the time, "You're going to grow to the point where you can monet?" I said, "I'm doing this for shits and giggles."
Yeah.
If I was doing this to be monetized, I'd be in bankruptcy court by now.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm 4 years in, and at this point, between my 2 sponsors and some merch sales, that pays for itself. I don't make any money, but now it doesn't cost me any money.
Right. Well,
So
that's a good position to be in, actually.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like all the apps like Opus and the domain for the website and YouTube and Canva and what's I use Filmora. Filmora is my
Various equipment you pick up, here and there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a good time with it. I'm with you, you know. I'm sitting here talking to you. I would have never known you, dude.
No.
We never had a conversation.
Although you're in Jersey, I'm in New York. Maybe we met in Manhattan. You never know. I worked in Manhattan 28 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Doing what?
I was right behind you getting a hot dog. You remember?
Still, is that there? I lost my wallet.
Yeah. Oh, I still have it. I'll mail it to you now that
All
I know
right,
where
good.
you are.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
No,
Hey, that $7,500 still better be in there.
yeah, in small bills. So it was a thick wallet. I just wanted to finish the thought about AI. I'm sorry, your newsletter. I recently was turned on to Substack. Did you ever hear of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if my bandwidth is ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not writing on it. I'm just subscribed to a couple of one of the podcasts I mentioned in the intro was Karmic Mirror, and the girl who does the Karmic Mirror writes a newsletter on Substack. So basically, I'm subscribed to her and a thing about Gettysburg. I'm a big Civil War.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah,
What Gettysburg? Which one's Gettysburg? The
I don't remember
podcast?
the name of it. I just started Substack last week, so I'm not even overly familiar. I could probably find it while I'm talking to you.
I know that dude very well.
Oh, is it Matt? Maybe I'm in the wrong one then. Now let me just see which one I.
Oh, dude, if you're into Civil War, dude, I got one for you.
Oh yeah.
Let me look it up real quick. Oh, dude, Matt. Oh, God, starts with a C. Calorie.
I don't know. I can't remember the name of it to be honest with you.
Hold
But I do get.
Gettysburg.
No, it's Kevin Levin. Kevin M. Levin is who I'm subscribed to.
You want That's awesome. And I think I love history too. Okay. Addressing Gettysburg.
Well, I am subscribed to him on YouTube.
I know Matt extremely well.
Oh yeah, well I watch him all the time. Yeah,
He is on one of my episodes, dude.
he does. Oh really? I'll have to check him out. I didn't know
Hold
he
on.
was he
I'll
was
even
one of you.
tell you. I'll even tell you which one.
He he does.
Matt.
What I like about him is every once in a while he'll do a drive through Gettysburg
Yeah.
and just talk while he's driving.
Dude, Matt's amazing, dude. That guy's so witty. We had so much fun. Number 39. Oh shit, going way back in the day.
Of your episodes,
Yeah, number 39.
I'll probably listen to it tonight when I'm driving into Millbrook from
Yeah.
where I'm at. Yeah.
He's anybody listening to that loves Civil War stuff, he is so passionate about that. It's like I got goosebumps. Dude, it's incredible how passionate he is about Gettysburg.
Oh yeah. He had a program called Get Out of the Car, which I guess he's trying to get people to get off the auto trail. There's a big auto trail in Gettysburg. You ever been to Gettysburg, Walt?
Oh, yeah, we did the bicycle tour.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there like 28 years in a row. So,
I love it.
but I still haven't seen the whole battlefield. You've been on a bike tour through there. You know it's a humongous
Oh, it's huge.
battlefield.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
And people don't like you see it in the history books or on a TV show and people talk about it, but just to get the scale of it, you got to be standing there and you're like looking around and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I always get I don't know how to describe it, like a solemn, hollowed feeling when I'm
Yeah.
there. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
There's some energy floating around that place.
hey, I don't believe in the ghost thing, but you just feel
Yeah.
something humongous.
You don't believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ah,
I
well,
have
our energy.
I have a story. I used to go with my godson all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
and for like the first 4 or 5 years, we were trying to find the Irish Brigade Memorial there
Okay.
on the battlefield. And you know, we have the map and it shows it's right there. We could never figure out how the hell to get to this thing. So, and we used to go right when they did the reenactments every year, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And and it's never on the battlefield, but it's usually close by.
Right, right.
So we watched this. We were watching this reenactment, and then we were going to just from there. It was on a Sunday, I believe, and we were just going to jump right on the road, go back to the Bronx from there. We stayed for 3 days, you know.
Yeah.
And as we're leaving the reenactment, the state troopers, because it's a big crowd and it's all leaving at once, the state trooper was the road we wanted to be on was closed because of the traffic, and the state trooper was directing us back onto the battlefield. And this is no shit, to be honest with you. I get back on the battlefield, my nephew and I, and I'm driving around, and no shit, it felt like I wasn't driving the car. It's like the car was
Nice.
steering itself. You know, we were going around here, going around here. Next thing you know, we're right in front of the Irish Brigade Memorial.
Boom. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I just think that we're a fucking meat skeleton, right? There's something driving us, right? You say your soul. Let's just say our soul, just to make it an easier conversation. Well, that energy has to go somewhere, right? So you get thrown in the ground. Where's your energy go? Now, if you're violently taken away, is your energy different? That's a whole other conversation, right? But I had two incidents when I was young. I was in the house growing up where I grew up, and we had a wood stove, and just outside the wood stove room was the living room, and I'm laying there, my head, and if you went around my head, the wood stove was there, right? So it was close by, and in the middle of the night, I hear something, feel something, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? What, like, it felt like somebody walked by me. Okay. I'm staring at the stove. Like as I'm looking at you now, I'm staring at the stove. And I felt like somebody walked by me, heard the door handle creak, the door creak open, felt the heat from the wood stove. A chunk of wood got thrown on the wood stove. A blast of heat hit me again. The wood stove door shut. You could hear it. You could hear it. And then energy walked by me. The whole time I'm staring at the wood stove, the door never fucking opened.
So
And
how
I'm
did
just
I'm just curious now, the wood, how did you know it was new wood?
well, it just like, because I've been loading a wood stove my whole life, right?
Okay.
So, I see what you're saying. But it was that action of somebody open the door. You feel the heat when the door opened, right? It cools down a little bit because that first blast of hot air is gone. And then when you chunk another piece of wood on it, you can hear it like hit the ashes. And then you get hit with another blast of heat. Then you shut the door. I felt and heard all that, but the door never opened. And I was
Wow.
like, what the dude, it fucked me up for a little while. Then the classic Ouija board thing. Don't ever bring one of them around me. I'll fucking burn it in front of you. Because me and the boys were fucking around with it one night. Dude, until my dying day, I'll die on this hill. That thing spun around and flew off the board with none of us touching it. And I just went, y'all go fuck yourself. I'm leaving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I believe that there's energy out there, right? And how big the universe is and how all that, there's got to be something, dude. There has to be. Has to be. You know? We're
Are
just
you, do you mind me asking what religion you are?
none.
No religion? Okay.
No.
You're in
Years ago,
Jersey. You're in Jersey, and your last name is Blau, so I was going to guess Catholic, but no.
I'm comfortable. It took me a lot of years, but for some years now, I'm comfortable that when I pass, I believe you go on like another plane.
Mm-hmm.
That nothing happened before were born that you know of, right? And nothing will happen when I'm gone that I'll know of. But my energy will be like on another plane, and that's given me a lot of comfort. And I think that religions, no matter what religion, and there's nothing wrong with any of them, of course, but I think that they bring you comfort. It makes things digestible. We have no idea how big the world is. Dude, you can't even begin to comprehend how big the universe is.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Some people, including me, you can't even comprehend how big the globe is that we live on, this fucking rock. Right? Look how big it is. So I think that religion makes it digestible. Yeah, one dude made all this. Oh, that makes sense. Because your brain, you know what I mean? Your brain. And again, I'm not trashing. You believe whatever you want. And that's what's great about the human spirit and the world and everybody in. You know?
Well, there are some religions that take into account spirits, you know.
Of course.
That's why I asked you in the first place, you know.
Yeah. No, I love it. I like all the Norse religion stuff and even Christianity. I wrote a thesis years and years ago, and I took 6 religions and I broke their commandments down. They all have basically commandments, right? They call them different things, right? And how I ended my thesis was don't be a dick.
Hey, you got to tell me how you scored on it.
Huh? It was a no score thing. It was a martial arts thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
But it is like pick any religion you want and take their quote unquote commandments, right? I'm calling them commandments. If you get offended by that, that's a you problem, not a me problem. I don't know what every religion calls them, so that's on you.
Yeah.
But we all, you know what though? We all knew what I was talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
and read each one, and we'll do Christianity. Sleep with your neighbor's wife. Dude, you're just being a dick. Don't steal. Again,
Well, I think if he just went with don't be a dick, you probably wouldn't break any of the commandments, you know. No matter which
that's what
religion.
I'm saying. Before you do something, you go, am I being a dick?
That's a good way to live life too, you know.
Yeah. And I teach our son the that kindness is a superpower. If you're kind and you use your manners, right? And add a good work ethic into that, you're going to get anything you want in this world.
Yep.
Anything. But once in a while, you got to let a motherfucker know. You can't be a doormat either.
I've gotten out of fights being kind. I know that
Dude,
doesn't.
I did that for a living for 10 years.
I mean, I know that to some people that doesn't make sense, but it's the
Oh, it
truth.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Bouncing. I was a bouncer in a cooler for so many years. It's all political, dude.
Yeah.
It's all. Hey, man, relax, dude. Hey, what are we doing? You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk. Yeah. And
Yeah.
one dude. Oh, you'll like this. I brought up the Civil War. Guy says, "You want? What are you doing? What are we talking about?" You know, he was all drunk and everything. I said, "Talking? Oh, well, shit, dude. I didn't know you wanted to talk. Well, let's talk, dude. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about space? You want to talk about church? You want to talk about the Civil War? What do you want to talk about, dude?" And at the time, he's like, "What? I don't know what's going on." And by that time,
he forgot what the hell he was mad at, right?
yeah. And by that time, all the muscles showed up. So then he realized he was outnumbered.
Yeah.
And down the road he went.
Well,
But,
that'll get you to forget too, you know. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But a great example of letting a motherfucker know, our son, he was playing on this thing, the scooter, electric scooter, in a indoor playground thing. And this girl came over. He's 4, and she had to be 8 or 9. So she was twice his size, you know. And she tried to take it from him. He fell off it. And as he went to get back on it, she tried to grab it. She pulled on it. He pulled on it. She pulled on it. He pulled on it. And she slapped his hand. He looked down at his hand, looked up at her, took one step, and shouldered her. Threw his shoulder right into her chest. She fell over. He got on a thing and drove away. And I go, he looked at me and I gave him a thumbs up.
Good for him. Yeah. That's what you got. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. That's what I mean by not being a doormat.
Yeah.
But you come in behind us. If you're following us, he opens the door for you. Dad, let him in first. Copy that, dude. Yeah, go ahead. You know,
No, sounds like you're bringing him up right. Yeah.
Yeah, he opens the car door for his mom, and
Very
I
good.
mean, that's yeah. I teach him to speak clearly and confidently to us. You know, none of this. Oh, I want it. No, dude. What do you want? I want to watch TV. That ain't gonna happen. What else you want? Or sure, you can watch TV. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But don't whine. No, you ain't getting nothing by whining.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it sounds like you're raising him right. I've been saying the older I get, the less common sense becomes. The way I see things in society, anyway. I don't know if it's just I'm turning into a grumpy old guy or
No.
Or,
well, probably half, dude.
yeah. No, I'm definitely turning into a grumpy old guy,
'cause
and I've been rehearsing for years. You know.
I like that.
You know.
Well, usually when I start a show, somebody will be like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" I'll be like, "Oh, dude, it's a struggle. It's a lot of work." And they're like, "What's that?" I go, "Being a trophy husband." A lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty face, dude. It's a whole package.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
But no, the grumpy old man thing, it's just like I just think that as you get older through experience, you realize how full of shit most people are.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, this just popped in my mind. Okay, yeah, they're full of shit. But how much fronting they do. Like they're like posturing. It's like, and then we get to our age, you're like, dude, I don't need a posture, nothing. This is who I am. You don't like it? See you, bro.
Well, I'm going to guess you're a lot younger than I am. I'm 114 years old. So.
Oh, dude, you got me by 7 years.
No, but it just it seems to me, and I don't know if it's. I hope it's being the grumpy old man and not society falling apart. But It seems like common sense is a lot less common than it was when I was younger.
Yeah, but did your great grandfather say that about the generation after him?
Well, my father, his favorite saying was the world's going to hell in a handbasket. That was his
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And I think the world's been falling apart since the beginning of time. And that's why I think humans, us as general, as a species, as a group of people, is amazing because we could self destruct within minutes. Could you imagine? Especially, we won't even talk about technology and all that, but just what's stopping a guy at the grocery store come stabbing you in the eye with a fork?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I believe that in my heart, I believe that humanity in general is good, right? And then you got to have bad
Yeah.
because you can't have all this good stuff. You got to have a rainy day to appreciate the sunny days,
Yeah.
right? So you got to have a couple knuckleheads, and mainstream media is an absolute joke.
Yeah. Well, adjacent to that theory, I've always said that the good far outweigh the bad, but there is bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they're just louder, right?
Yeah.
Because like you got good guys, right? Say me and you, the good guys, and we just go about our business. We're just doing our thing. We're not making any noise. I take care of my family. I do what I like to do, and we hang out and we have a good time doing this kind of thing. So we don't make a lot of noise because we have things going on, right? We have a purpose. A man I don't give a shit how righteous and all that bullshit. A man needs a purpose, right? You got to have a job, somebody that you're responsible for, take care of your health, that kind of thing. Gives you purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And without that, you have the people that don't do anything. Well, now they have to find a purpose. Well, their purpose is bothering me and you. Because what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
They see me and you talking this shit on the internet, and they pick out one little 15-second clip and they run with it.
Yeah.
Wait, do you run into that? I've run into that. Why'd you
Yeah.
say this? Well, that's
Yeah.
completely out of context, man. I got a 90-minute show and you took 15 seconds out of it.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
Makes you want to make a short out of that 15 seconds just to drive it home.
Right?
if it pissed somebody off, make a short out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the way I think. So, like being a grumpy old man, I just think you get tired of. Just be honest, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just be real.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like when I had my business, we go networking, right? I don't know if you know about that whole thing where you go and meet people. And
I worked on Wall Street 28 years. I did plenty of networking.
Perfect, right? So you meet somebody networking in a group. There's 50 people in a room, so you're walking around. Me, I don't have trouble. I walk around. I'll talk to anybody. Hey, man, how's it going? Fuck, dude, busy. Oh, my God, life's great. Busy, busy, busy. The fuck are you doing here then? Dude, just be honest, man. It sucks right now. That's why I'm here networking. I need to drum up some business.
Yeah.
Well, you think I'm going to think less of you? No, I'll probably think more of you because you're like, oh, I was like, oh, shit, let me help this guy out.
Yeah, well, you're taking action to help yourself.
Coming to you then.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're taking an action to help yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wall Street.
Yeah, that's where I worked. Yep.
So you're sitting on a.
That's when I was behind you on the hot dog stand. Don't you remember?
What the fuck you stealing my money then? If you're
right
working
in
on Wall
front of the
Street?
Trinity Church, you didn't get out of the way, so I had to.
It happens. I was enjoying the view at the Trinity Church.
And I was friggin' starving.
Trying to determine if I wanted pickles or relish on my hot dog, dude. And you're back there breathing down my neck.
I'll tell you, I don't know how the hell I survived eating some of them hot dogs over the years.
They call that the roller grill.
Oh man, dirty water dogs, boy.
Dirty water dogs. They're not bad, dude. It's kind of well, I don't know if a steady diet of them would probably be bad for you.
No. Once every 2 weeks is about the max you can handle.
Ooh.
Yeah. When you got like a 15-minute break and you're starving to death.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How long were you on Wall Street?
28 short years.
28 years.
Yeah. I used to go home at night though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And come back the next day.
You were one of the lucky ones? Well, you didn't have a cot? You didn't sleep on the street?
I tell you, are you a bar guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I spent many years in the bar business. Never owned one, but securities and bartending and bar backing and
Okay. Well, I bent many
and
an
and
elbow.
enjoying the nightlife in the
Yeah,
personal sense too, of course.
I bent many an elbow and decorated many a mahogany over the years.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Decorated many mahogany. Oh,
Mm.
dude, that's a good one.
But the reason I brought it up is because I used to go out a lot when I worked on Wall Street, and or even when I was younger, hanging out in the bars of my neighborhood. I would go there at 10 o'clock at night and stay there till they close. Go
Of
out for
course.
breakfast after.
Yeah.
I'd have to go to the hospital if I did that now.
Oh, dude,
You'd
that'd be
have to
freak.
hospitalize me.
Dude, how about coming out of Denny's or the bar, doing this because the sun's hitting you? You're like, fuck, I gotta go back to work.
I've been there, done that
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a shitty feeling, let me tell you.
Well,
But
I had chemical. I was chemically induced for most of those years. So
okay, I see. I never used that. It was all just. It was all just.
willpower.
No, it was all just alcohol for me. You know.
No, you get we'd go to Vegas for 4 days. I'd get completely barbecued drinking, do a couple lines, sober you right up,
Yeah.
go back out partying, dude, and no sleep, no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
it costs money to be in Vegas. You don't want to sleep it away. You know.
Oh, that's true. Now I do. My shit back then. My trips to Vegas were X-rated. Now they're rated Y for young. You know.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
I went there in the 1980s and I loved it. It was.
Oh, dude.
It was. I think
Back
you
in the
had.
heyday.
I think you had like. I think I'm could be wrong, but it was like you had Caesars, and then you had Excalibur, and then
Uh-huh.
you had like sand. You know.
Yeah.
It was like
See,
you were. You didn't go past Excalibur because you'd be in the desert. You know.
dude. See, I was just on another podcast, Hodgepod, and you break down movies. So you watch a movie, you jump on with them, and you break down movies. And one of my favorite movies is Casino.
I love that
And
movie.
oh my god! And I was telling him that back in that time, I would have thrived in Vegas. That would have been my. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I would have had a good
Would you have been De Niro or Pesci?
Pesci.
Yeah, me. Well, I got the mouth of Pesci, so
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, Pesci's a Jersey guy too, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There's a restaurant in my neighborhood, a little Italian restaurant. They got pictures of him while he visits there apparently all the
Oh
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
But,
made that movie. He made
huh?
that. He made that movie. You know.
Amazing movie.
Yeah. Same with what was the other one? Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Huh?
he made that movie too. He.
I got the movie poster on my wall.
Oh, do you?
Goodfellas, yeah.
Well, Joe
Been around-
Pesci. Joe Pesci played Joe Pesci in every movie. That's what you
Oh,
loved
yeah.
about him. Yeah.
Why not, dude? Dude, if that's what makes you what you are, why not roll with it?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why you
Dude,
got
I mean-
hired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and De Niro together is it's just amazing.
Yeah.
But
Which one was Casino had Don Rickles, right?
yep.
He was actually good in that movie, Don
He
Rickles.
was really. I enjoyed his part.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his part. Yeah, we talked about that and how crucial a Sharon Stone's part was
Yeah.
to me. Because the only person it's kind of on a flat line for me. Who plays a better casino boss, De Niro or
Don't say Mo Green.
what the hell's his name from Oceans?
Oh, Sinatra?
No, what the hell's the
Oceans,
guy?
which Oceans 11? Oh, Oceans 11?
All the Oceans. The guy plays he runs the Bellagio. God, what's his name?
On in the movie Oceans 11? Or the
Yeah, he
original with Sammy Davis Jr.? Or the remake?
No, God damn, dude. Now you're showing your age.
I'm
Talking with
114.
Huh?
I'm 114.
God damn, dude. Did they have TV back then?
I'm one of the few World War II veterans that fought in the Civil War. Ocean's 11. You're not talking about George Clooney, are you?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
But
okay.
not George Clooney, but the guy that runs the casino.
Oh.
Garcia? Andy Garcia.
Oh, Andy Garcia. Okay.
Is that
He
it?
played Terry Benedict?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
dude.
Okay.
I, that's a toss up for me because De Niro play. I mean, for him running the casino and with the way he portrayed that in Casino, phenomenal, right? But Andy Garcia, dude, that's a casino boss. I
Yeah.
could totally see. Oh, speaking of that, do you remember? I think in Oceans too, Oceans as well as Casino, that people gave the casino boss, people that worked there had to kick back to the casino boss,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I was spending a lot of time in Vegas, I got offered a job. Remember, uh, the guy, you would come out of the casino and the guy'd be standing there and he'd whistle and get a cab for you and you give him $1.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
that I don't know what the position's called now. I can't remember, but
Bellhop?
they're like, yeah, I mean,
Whatever. I don't know.
yeah. But they're like, hey man, there's an opening, dude. I know a guy, you know, the whole thing. I know a guy I can get you this position. I'm like, no shit. What's the pay? And he tells me. And I'm like, go. Oh, Jesus, man, I've been kind of itching to move to Vegas. This could be the end, right? Doing that, maybe a little side hustling. I could make a pretty good living out here in Vegas. He goes, there's one caveat. I go, what's that? He goes, you have to give 30% of your money every night to the casino manager. I'm like, I'm sorry, excuse me? Yeah, and he goes, cash, by the way. I go, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, dude? So just to make the math easy, you make $100,000 a year. You know, right? The casino pays you $20,000 because whatever. So you make $80,000 in cash, right? Not far fetched. I'm not sure the numbers, but 30% of that's got to go to the fucking casino boss for him to give you that job. No way, dude. I'm out.
That 2-bedroom apartment you were going to rent became a studio.
Fuck, dude, came a cardboard box,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I used to fly out, go play poker, right? I would get a handle of booze and a 6-pack of beer, and I would stop because we talk about, you and I, we've been talking about it all episode, how we enjoy hearing stories and talking to people, right?
Right.
So I would do this, and on the way to the casino, I would stop at these homeless dudes, sit down with them, and I'd hold their sign while we sat there and drank beer and drank out of the fucking whiskey bottle, right? And I'd be like, hey, man, how'd you end up here, dude? And I would like ask them stuff, right? Most of the time, they're just it's a mental thing, right? So they're just, you just hear a bunch of bullshit, right? I mean, but I had fun with it and we'd laugh and I'd poke fun at him. He'd poke fun at me and I'd hold a sign. You'd walk by. I'm like, hey, you cheap bastard, give this guy $1. You know, I'd talk shit, right? But what I found out, the majority of it was the guys that you could like kind of determine that they were telling the truth, right? Because some of these guys, but anyway, is I guess the phrase that just came to my mind was fall from grace, right? So they'd be in a position like I have. I got a good job. I have a beautiful family. I have a house. My wife's got a beautiful job. Everything's fucking great. And their wife and 2 kids got killed in a car accident. They completely lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then everything just crashes. And then they're up on the street. Right. There was a guy that in my job currently, years ago, I heard stories about it, that his daughter was kidnapped. You know, all the horrible things you can imagine done to her. Then they chopped her up and threw her in a wood chipper to put her in the river to try to get rid of the evidence.
Jesus.
Right? So they find all this out. They go to court, do all this. The dad completely loses it, breaks mentally, just a complete mess, which I could understand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what happened was he was just getting over it. Not over it, but he was being able to work and be in society and
Come to grips, yeah.
just kind of, right, move forward with his life, right? Something happened in the case and they had to go back and retry the people, and it was like a 4-week ordeal. So he's in the courtroom for the next 4 weeks, hearing about all it over again. Of course, he declines. They find his work truck abandoned at the end of a road out in the woods, right? Because all of a sudden he's gone. Nobody can reach him and all that. He's nowhere to be found. God, I want to get it right. I don't want to. A couple days later, somebody finds him miles away, completely naked under their front porch, just jabbering away in a fetal position, just talking to himself. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but that's how nobody talks about it after that point. But and I have friends here locally that lost their kids, suicide, and a real good buddy of mine, his daughter committed suicide at school in the girls' bathroom.
Jeez.
Fuck, dude. I can't even. My guts are like falling through my asshole right now just thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, every time you see somebody like that in the street, like you're talking about the fellas out in front of the casino,
you don't know.
They all have stories,
Everybody's got a story.
They all went to grammar school and high school, and some of them went to college, just like you and I. And
contributed to society somehow.
Something happened where they took the wrong road or whatever.
Yeah. Like Rogan always says, I like it. He was a baby. That was somebody's baby. Like I look at my son and I mess around with him before he goes to bed, and I'm like, I think about some people that I've met in the past. And I'm like, they used to be this big.
Yeah.
Somebody loved them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then just something happens to them, and that's the road they go down,
Yeah,
And,
but for the grace of God, go I. Yeah, it's the truth.
And you don't like to see it, but that's the yin and yang of life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know, your story, but I've been in the darkest of places, and now I live a blessed life, man. We were in a group of people and somebody said, hey, man, if you had to describe your life in one word, what would it be? And of course, people are like blessed and love and, all that. And they came around to me and I said, built. I built it. I build it every day. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Life's amazing. You get talking to people and you listen to them and you're like, damn, you pulled through that, or that was awesome that you had that experience.
Well, you can't make it to 114, Walt, without having your trials and your tribulations.
Dude, you look pretty good.
Well, it's Noxzema,
Wow, dude, now you're really showing your age. Noxzema.
I got the last stash they ever made. But listen, you're double barreling it tonight because I know you have a podcast after this. But I wanted to show the folks your website before you go.
Yeah, sure.
And I always say, just about every podcast, I say I'm technologically challenged.
Right there with you, buddy.
So
I built that website too.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm going to show. Can you see it on your end there?
No, not yet. Oh, there it is. Look at that good-looking fella right there.
This guy looks just like you, actually, which I thought was ironic.
I know it is weird. Where'd you creep? Where are you getting that from?
Well, thank God you're wearing a different shirt.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
I see the subscription to the newsletter now, which I'll do right after this.
Actually, I put you already on there, dude.
Oh, thank you. All right, on the email. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and you're on just about all of the audio,
everything and anything. Here's all the stuff.
Yeah, Apple and.
Go over to About, dude. You want to see a good-looking fella?
You better have pants before I click this friggin'
Well,
thing.
you don't know I have pants on.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez. Go to About. Look at that. That's a good-looking fella right there.
Yeah, nice smile anyway. Yeah. So, the name of the podcast is Be Raw Podcast, and there'll be a link in the show notes to his website, which is what we're looking at on YouTube. If you're listening to us, it's berawpodcast.com, and there'll be a link on the show notes to it. And if you're on YouTube watching us, I don't know why. I mean, two handsome fellas. Other than that,
dude.
Yeah.
We look good for our age, man.
I tell you, you know what?
Hey, jump over to the blog, dude. Check that out.
All right, where am I going? How do I get there?
Up on it's behind our picture on it's in the menu there somewhere.
All right, about what are they saying? Is that the block? No.
No, it's move.
Oh, I see. Oh, we're blocking it. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got merch too. Let's check that out.
Yeah.
So this is how often do you come out with these?
Once a week.
Nice. Okay. Nice graphics on your photo too.
Check. Scroll down. I'll show you. Keep going. I'll show you my favorite one.
Okay.
Oh, oh, dude, I got to show you this. Keep going. Scroll down.
Okay.
Since we're talking about, I love that picture right there. By the way.
That is a cool picture. Yeah.
Chivalry.
Yeah.
Keep going. I want to show you this one.
That was my first military uniform, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you said the Civil War.
Well, yeah, I had that sword just like that. I'm still going.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You want to see a good-looking fella? Look at that.
Oh, that's a handsome fella.
Look at that.
Yeah. Who the hell is that?
Nice. That's me as a gladiator, bro.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Look, and this blog here, I really, really enjoy doing because is like the name of if you're listening to this audio, the name of it is violence necessarily a bad thing? And I go into talking about how when you start to put shackles on a man, nothing happens. If you let him run free, he builds things, he creates things, poets and you know what I mean? That without reading it all, and then my saying for my show is practice violence in the gym and kindness everywhere else.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good way to live life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, because my favorite saying is every man longs.
There it is right here, the saying you just mentioned. Yeah.
So I think it's every man, my favorite quote is every man longs for a battle to fight, an adventure to go on, and a woman to save.
Probably absolutely correct. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Your email.
Sorry.
Oh, dude, don't let me look at your
No,
browser.
no. This is not. This is. I was looking up the guy here, Andy Garcia. Yeah.
Andy Garcia. Yeah, he plays a good casino boss.
And I just give people a quick glance at your YouTube page.
There it is. I'm trying to break 1,000.
You're at 916. After this podcast, you're going to be 917, 917, maybe even 918. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Man, if I could get to 918 with this conversation, that would be amazing.
Yeah. You might
look at this one down here. Who loves a good road trip? Check that out, dude. Open that up.
Where am I?
Who loves a good road trip?
Oh, this guy. Okay. I don't think the audio is going to come up. It's a 16-second thing. I don't think the audio comes through on this. I tried doing this once before.
Nope.
Yeah, you can't hear it.
Me and another podcast are going to Pittsburgh in August to do a live show.
Nice.
Yeah, 150 people, bro.
In the audience?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're big time, man.
Shit, big time.
But
dude, I'm a legend in my own mind.
Well, you have who you have coming on tonight? You want to give us?
Actually,
don't tell me because it'll be, it might be 2 weeks old before this thing comes out. So.
Oh, nah, it's mine are a couple weeks out anyway. I record them and then I put them in the pipeline and they go out. But no, a guy that I kind of grew up with, and we're just gonna talk shit about the hometown, and it's been 30 years since I've been up there, and then he moved out 10 years ago, and we're just gonna talk about everything, that, and he knows my family, I know his family, so a little reminiscing. It's kind of fun. And then, yeah. And I just booked, you like history, the movie All's Quiet on the Western Front?
Yep.
The new one?
I haven't seen the new one, no.
So the assistant director, he's coming on at the end of the month.
Very good.
I'm going to have him on. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That sounds exciting. And tonight, when I usually hang out with the fellas at night, we have a strong cup of coffee, And on my way to that, I'm going to be listening to the one with the guy from Addressing Gettysburg.
Yeah, Matt.
I love that show.
Matt's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And that was, hey, man, don't be throwing out no judgment on me. That was, 100 and something episodes ago. I've critiqued it a little bit.
You've gone through puberty now, and your voice is
Close. One ball's fallen, dude. I'm gonna wait for the other one.
No, I'm going to listen to it tonight, actually. So, but I'd love to have you on again. That was very interesting. And we could have went on for another hour, but I know you have another podcast coming, so I don't want to.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, let's set up for you to come on, dude.
Oh, I'd love to come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's set that up. But yeah.
That's
So,
fine. That's fine.
Do you shut this down? Because I have a couple things I want to talk to you off air.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up. The name of the podcast is Be Raw Podcast, and you can find them on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all sorts of places. Just go to I'll be all right. Just go to BeRawPodcast.com, and you'll find all the links to where you can listen to his podcast. And I do appreciate you coming on tonight, Walt.
Of course. Hey, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Absolutely,
18,
subscribe.
918.
Let's get him over. Let's get him over 1,000 so he can monetize. Yeah.
Come on. Well, that's kind of the goal, obviously.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing wrong
Dude,
with
to
that.
get over 1,000 is a beast.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy. Yeah.
It's not easy.
I've been in the 500s for like 2 years, so.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Yeah. But thank you again, and I'm sorry I stole your wallet, and now that I know where you live, I'll mail it to you tomorrow.
$7,500.
It's still in there. I haven't spent one dime. I did buy a hot dog with the money from your wallet.
Well, with inflation, that should be what, $6,700 now?
Yeah, it said $1.67. So,
well,
all right.
At 114, average inflation is what, 4 or 5%? You're a Wall Street guy, so
Yeah.
average inflation.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. Sell. That's all I got to say. Sell.
Sell.
All right. Well,
man, it's a damn pleasure. We're going to be doing this again. So
good. I'm
Thank you
looking
for
forward
having me
to it.
on.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to listening to more of your episodes. So have a great night, Walt.
thanks, buddy. You too.
Okay.